October 2000 marked a pivotal moment in the history of Rivers State, as the Supreme Viking's Confraternity, driven by an insatiable quest for dominance, orchestrated a strategic maneuver. They established the Supreme Iceland Confraternity, notoriously known as the Icelanders, with the calculated intention of extending their influence into every nook and cranny of the state. Atik Tom, a cunning and ambitious figure, was handpicked to spearhead the Icelanders as their anchorhead. This decision, however, ignited a firestorm of resentment among senior members of the Supreme Viking's hierarchy, who felt egregiously overlooked and disrespected by Atik's sudden elevation. As tensions simmered, the disgruntled seniors ultimately defected from the Supreme Vikings, fueled by a desire for autonomy and self-assertion. This exodus led to the proliferation of splinter groups, each founded by a charismatic leader seeking to carve out their own fiefdom. Onyegu, a battle-hardened veteran, broke away to form the Onyegu Marines, a formidable outfit that would soon become a force to be reckoned with. Julius, another influential figure, seceded to establish the Greenlanders, a group that would vie for control of the city's underworld. Meanwhile, Tikina, a ruthless and cunning operative, founded the Redlanders, a faction that would earn a reputation for brutality and cunning. As these rival groups began to flex their muscles, the city of Port-Harcourt was plunged into a maelstrom of violence and instability. The once peaceful streets became a battleground, with each confraternity vying for supremacy. The law enforcement agencies, overwhelmed by the sheer scale of the chaos, struggled to maintain order. As the body count rose, and the city teetered on the brink of anarchy, one thing became clear: Port-Harcourt would never be the same again. Atik Tom, the newly crowned anchor-head of the Icelanders, was consumed by fear. The men who had defected from the Supreme Viking's Confraternity were his seniors, veterans who had sailed the Viking ship since the early 1990s. But Soboma George, his trusted second-in-command, reassured him, "Do not worry, we will assert our dominance." Emboldened by Soboma's words, the Icelanders, under Atik's leadership, declared war on the Greenlanders and the Onyegu Marine Boys. As the power struggle between the confraternities intensified, Tikina, the leader of the Redlanders, met a gruesome end. He was allegedly beheaded by the Icelanders inside his own home. The brutal murder sent shockwaves throughout Port-Harcourt city. Julius, the leader of the Greenlanders, fled Okrika and sought refuge in Port-Harcourt, where he appealed to Aseri the Kubo for help. Aseri, a powerful and well-armed figure, was outraged by the Icelanders' atrocities and promptly declared war on Atik and his followers. With his superior firepower, Aseri successfully drove the Icelanders out of Port-Harcourt, forcing them to retreat to Okrika. Atik, defeated and humiliated, returned to his hometown of Okuchuri, Okrika, where he lamented his plight to his sponsors. They promptly supplied him with ammunition and instructed the Icelanders to regroup and re-strategize. The stage was set for a bloody and relentless conflict. The Icelanders devised a strategic plan to expand their reach across Rivers State. They decided to establish a network of decks in every corner of the state, ensuring a formidable presence. Atik Tom, the anchor-head, instructed his loyalists to return to their communities and set up these decks, effectively spreading the Icelanders' influence far and wide. This tactical maneuver enabled the Icelanders to outmaneuver their rivals, the Greenlanders, and gain control of several key areas in Rivers State. Onyegu, the leader of the Onyegu Marine Boys, was forced to flee to his home state of Bayelsa, abandoning his strongholds in Rivers. Meanwhile, the intense conflict between Atik's Icelanders and Aseri's forces reached a boiling point. The situation became so dire that the presidency intervened, convening a peace meeting to broker a truce. Following the meeting, both Atik and Aseri were unexpectedly rewarded with gifts and prizes of significant monetary value. The surprise gesture seemed to work, as calm was finally restored to the troubled regions of Rivers State. The fragile peace held, bringing an end to the cycle of violence that had plagued the state for so long.